Hello friend, today we have to discuss the difference related to basic and electronic engineering. Then first discussing the different point, we have to see what is the syllabus of the basic electrical and electronic engineering. In the first chapter we have to see the elementary electrical concepts, that is fundamental of electric system, potential difference, what is the potential difference. Then we have to see the current, Ohm's law, what is the Ohm's law, V is equal to IR. Then effect of temperature on the resistance is equal to resistance to the flow of current. And we have to see what is the effect of temperature on the resistance, we have to see in this point. Then we have to calculate the resistance temperature coefficient. Then we have to discuss related to the electrical wiring system. Then study of different wire gauges. Wire gauge is nothing but the size of the conductor or wire we have to use for the different domestic applications as well as industry. Then we have to discuss related to the different energy sources and their utilization. Then what are the conventional and non-conventional energy sources is available. We have to what are the advantages, disadvantages, and what is the construction working of the conventional as well as non-conventional energy resources. Then we have to discuss related to the electrical energy generation from different sources. Then we have to see the concept of transmission and distribution of electrical power as well as utilization of that power. Then we have to discuss related to the advantages and disadvantages of AC and DC transmission system. What are the advantages of both the system we have to see. Then concept of supply, demand, power factor, and need of unity power factor we have to see. This is the first chapter. We have to see the basic concepts which is required for the electrical engineering systems. Then we have to see in the second chapter measurement of electrical quantities, that is voltage, current, power, power factor. These are the different concepts and we have to study in this chapter, that is measurement of voltage, then measurement of current, measurement of power, then measurement of three-phase power. There will be two circuits are present, that is single phase circuit and three-phase circuit. In this chapter we have to see the measurement of power in three-phase circuit, as well as we have to study related to the energy meter. Then we have to discuss related to the electrical storage devices which is required for the storage purpose, that is nickel cadmium battery, lithium ion battery, lithium polymer battery. Then we have to discuss related to the different types of circuit breakers and actuators. Then we have to discuss related to the miniature circuit breaker and MPCB circuit breaker. Then different types of contactors, auxiliary contactors, and electromechanical and solid state relays we have to discuss. What is the function of the relays and circuit breaker. The relay will be sense the fault present in the system and it will give the signal to the circuit breaker to isolate the system from the faulty. Syllabus, then we have to discuss related to the different points which is required for the further studies. To discuss first point, that is electron drift velocity. Suppose we have to consider a conductor and number of free electrons available are per meter cube of the conductor material is n. Then let their axial drift velocity be the v meter per second. In that time dt, the distance travelled would be v into dt. If A is the area of the cross section of the conductor, then the volume is VA into dt. The number of electrons contained in this volume is given by VA into dt. Obviously, all these electrons will cross the conductor cross section in the time dt. If E is the charge of the each electron, then total charge which crosses the section in time dt is given by dq is equal to n a eV into dt. Since the current is the rate of flow of charges, then it will be given by I is equal to dq upon dt. dq is already calculated and dt we have to consider the time. Then current density J is given by I upon A, or it will be given by NeV, ampere per meter square. And during the calculating the current density, that is J for the copper conductor is 1.55 into 10 raised to 6 ampere per meter square, and electron E, small e, it will be given by the 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Then therefore we have to calculate the V by putting these two value of J and E into the current density. Then we have to calculate the value of V is equal to 9.7 into 10 raised to minus 5 meter per second, or it will be 0.58 centimeter per minute. This is the velocity of the electron which is moving in the conductor. Remember that the electron drift velocity is rather very slow and it is independent of current flowing through the conductor and the area of the conductor. Then we have to discuss the next point, that is charge velocity and velocity of field propagation. First one is the speed with which charge drifts in a conductor. It is called as a velocity of charge. Then the speed with which the effect of EMF is experienced at all parts of the conductor, resulting in the flow of current, is called as velocity of propagation of electric field, and it is independent of current and voltage, and it will be a constant value of velocity of propagation of electric field. Its value is 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. We have to discuss related to the idea of electric potential. What is the electric potential? For that purpose we have to shown here one figure. It consists of copper plate and zinc rod, and it is immersed in dilute sulfuric acid contained in suitable vessel. The chemical action taking place within the cell causes the electron to be removed from copper plate and to be decomposited on the zinc rod. At the same time, this transfer of electrons is accomplished through the agency of dilute H2SO4, which is known as electrolyte. See in the image, H2SO4 is the liquid here present in the vessel. The result is that zinc rod becomes negative due to the decomposition of the electron on it, and the copper plate becomes the positive due to the removal of electron from it. The large number of electrons collected on the zinc rod is being attracted by anode, but is prevented from returning to its by force setup by chemical action within the cell. Suppose we have to connecting these two electrodes are joined by externally with the help of wire, then electron rushes to the anode, thereby equalizing the charges of the two electrodes. Due to the continuity of chemical action, a continuous difference in number of electrons on the two electrodes is maintained, which keeps up a continuous flow of current through the external circuit. The action of electric cell is similar to that of water pump, which while working maintain the continuous flow of water current through the pipe. See here we have to shown one pipe, water pump, and through that water pump it will be continuously moving of water through the pipe, and it will be again comes to the water pump. Similar way, from the electrons will be emitting or flow from copper plate, and it will be goes towards the zinc rod. This will be the similar fashion will be takes place between the copper rod and zinc rod. Here we have to note down the direction of electronic current is from zinc to copper in the external circuit, and the directional of current is from copper to zinc. See, remember that there will be no flow of positive charges such as from one electrode to the another, but we can look up upon the arrival of electrons on the copper plate as equivalent to an actual departure of positive charge from it. When zinc is negatively charged and it is said to be a negative potential with respect to electrolyte, whereas anode is said to be a positive potential relative to the electrolyte. Between themselves, copper plate is assumed to be higher potential than the zinc rod, and the difference in potential is continuously maintained by the chemical action going on in the cell and supplies the energy to establish the potential. And because of that potential difference, that is copper rod is higher potential and zinc rod is lower potential, because of that there will be flow of current will be takes place. Then we have to discuss related to the voltage and potential difference. First one is the potential difference, or potential is a concept used in electric, magnetic and gravitational field. A potential is a function of the location, and potential difference between point A and B is calculated by subtracting a potential of A from potential B. We have to call it as a VAB, that is voltage potential VA minus VB. In other words, the gravitational potential difference between points A and B is the amount of work that should be done to move a unit mass from point B to point A. In electric field, it is the amount of work to be done to move a unit charge from point B to point A. It is also called as a potential difference. A gravitational potential difference is measured in joule per kg, where electric potential difference is measured in volt. The potential difference is nothing but the difference in potential energy of the charges, and it is indicated or denoted by capital V, and it is expressed in terms of energy per unit charge, that is V is equal to energy divided by Q. This is the voltage. The electrical potential difference between point A and B is known as voltage between point A and B, and the voltage is measured in unit volt, and the voltmeter is the equipment to measure the voltage. Suppose we have to consider a battery provides voltage between its two terminal, and its positive side has higher potential and negative electrode has lower potential. Because of that potential difference, there will be current is flowing from higher potential to the lower potential. The potential difference with respect to the electric field is also called as a voltage. Then what is the current? The current is current is always flowing through the conducting material or a semiconductive material. It is not flowing through the insulating material. Why the current is flowing through the conducting material? Because there will be available of free electrons in the semiconductive as well as conductive material. When we have to apply the voltage between the 2 points, there will be exist of potential difference between the 2 points, and because of that the current is flowing through the conducting material between from higher potential to the lower potential. The electric current is nothing but the rate of flow of electric charges, and how to represent or express the current mathematically. It is I is equal to capital Q divided by T. I is the current, Q is the charge, flow of charges is we have to denoted by Q upon T, or it will be denoted by small I is equal to dq upon dt. And we have already discussed that current is flowing through the conductive material. Then what are the conductive materials? These are the copper, aluminum and alloys. ACS are conductors. And suppose you have to consider the semiconductive material, that is silicon, germanium. These are the different types of material. From that there will be flow of current is possible because availability of free electrons in that. And what are the insulating materials? For example, we have to consider as a porcelain, or we have to consider as wooden. These are the insulating material, from that current is not flowing. Then what is the 1 ampere? 1 ampere current is nothing but equal to the 1 coulomb flow of charges per second. This is called as a 1 ampere current. We know that the current is measured in unit of ampere, and for the measurement of current we have to use the ammeter. And whenever we have to measure the current with the help of ammeter, ammeter is always connected in series in the circuit. So we have to measure the current. If you have to connect the ammeter across the circuit, then it is not possible to measure the current. If we have to use the voltmeter and we have to connect this voltmeter parallel to the supply, then we have to measure the voltage. Remember that voltmeter is connected parallel to the circuit and ammeter is used for the measurement of current, and it is connected in series with the circuit. And whenever the load is applied across the circuit or in the circuit, then and then only current is flowing through the circuit. It is possible. Already we have to discuss related to the drift, velocity, voltage, potential difference. Then we have to find the velocity of charge by taking one problem. Suppose a 1 ampere current which is flowing in a copper conductor, and the cross section of that conductor is 1 centimeter square, and length of that copper conductor is 10 kilometer, and the free electron density of copper is 8.5 into 1028 per meter cube. Then how long will it take the electric charge to travel from one end of the conductor to the other end? We have to find the velocity as well as we have to find the time to charge move from one end to the other end. This is the answer for that question. First, we have to know the value of current. It is calculated with the help of formula N E into A into V, or we have to know the velocity of the charged electrons, that is I upon N E into A. We have to find the first V, velocity of the electron, because we have to know the current as well as N, E and A. Putting this value into the equation, then we have to finding the velocity, that is from equation 0.735 micrometer per second. Then time taken by the charge to travel from conductor length of 10 kilometer distance, how much time is required. The T is the distance per velocity, we have to find capital T. Then now 1 year, we have to find 365 into 24 into 3600, that much amount of second time. Then we have to find the T, total T, that is small t is equal to, that is 1.36 into 1010 divided by total 1 year time, that is 431 years. This is the time required of electric charge to travel from one end of the conductor to the other end. See friend, in this topic we have to discuss related to the drift velocity of charges. Then we have to see the velocity of charge, velocity of propagation of electric field, then what is the concept of electric potential and potential difference, then what is the voltage and what is the current, what are the different instrument are used for the measuring the voltage. We have to use the voltmeter, and for the measurement of current we have to use the ammeter. Ammeter is connected in series and voltmeter is connected parallel across the circuit for the measurement of voltage. Thank you friends.